Salutations, Utopians. So as you all know, we had some big time news this morning, 1 month away, give or take, from NBA training camp and preseason, and the Boston Celtics were still trying to figure out how to improve themselves. As you all know, back-to-back years, they have lost in the same exact fashion, giving up 7 and 8 turnovers respectively in deciding playoff games that led to their elimination. The Boston Celtics this offseason had some extremely important financial decisions to make, and they did so moving forward with paying Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum north of $300 million. In order to ensure this bet, they went out and acquired a rim-protecting stretch 5 in Kristaps Porzingis. He traditionally has played the 4. I imagine he'll play some 5 with the Celtics. And then went out and also acquired, most notably, Jrue Holiday, who was rerouted in that infamous couple days ago trade between the Portland Trailblazers, Phoenix Suns, and the Milwaukee Bucks, where Dame Lillard went to Milwaukee. DeAndre Ayton and Holiday ended up in Phoenix. They ended up in Portland. Well, Portland is still going through a serious rebuild, and they knew they couldn't keep Holiday there with a contract extension looming, fresh off of paying Jeremy Grant $196 million. They knew, we got to move off this contract. They got Scoot Henderson second overall at point guard. So they rerouted him to a title contender in the opposite conference, the Boston Celtics, who desperately needed this. I think a lot of people forget that Jrue Holiday was an extremely tenacious two-way point guard prior to playing with Giannis. He went off ball because you know Giannis is ball dominant. However, historically, when he was with New Orleans, he's one of only 2 point guards that I respect in this league, other than him, Chris Paul, that are actual legitimate 20 and 10 point guards, meaning they can score on all 3 levels, play defense, and are going to see a play happen before it occurs. And that's exactly what you can expect from Jrue Holiday, now getting back to his roots, because those 2 guys are going to need a guy who can balance them out and water them down. Otherwise, it can just be my turn, your turn. And that might have worked for the Heatles when they had Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. But this is a lot more parity this year. There's a lot more distribution of talent. You can't just go heavy ISO every time you're at a loss of direction with the offense. So, you know, obviously they had a head coaching change. This coach currently, Mazzulla, is not exactly as dominant of a personality as, you know, what they had in the past. And also their head coach moving up to the front office. It's just their former head coach, Brad Stevens, moving to the front office. They needed someone seasoned who's not as strong of a personality. I'm going to tell you this much. Boston has never truly recovered from losing Scary Terry. Losing Scary Terry and Marcus Smart. Now, that's going to be a big-time facelift, and this was a desperation move they had to make. I know it seems a little bit excessive. He's in his mid-30s. He wants a contract extension, but those 2 first-round picks they have an abundance of those, and they needed to offload them for something, and they're not in the time window of developing when you got $600 million just between 2 players, a record amount of money between 2 players. That's well over $500 million in salary cap. So this was a necessary move. They are all in. They've moved the chips to the middle of the table and said it's make up or break up time, because after this year, if it ends catastrophic again, one of those guys is getting moved, and I don't think it's Jason Tatum. It's the guy who we keep hearing his name being rumored every year in trade rumors, not Jaylen Brown, who, remember, was really ticked off when they said, hey, we're going to trade. You know, they had him in the rumors when KD was available before he went to Phoenix. And guess what? This is a business. They said, haha, boo-hoo, whatever. We're going to pay you your money, and all will be fair. And I think everything is smoothed out for right now until the next crisis. Barring injuries, this is a very good team. But the guys they've chosen to invest in, Porzingis, Holiday, these guys have had injury problems. And and availability is the best ability. Remember, I think their season would have had a different trajectory last year had they had Danilo Gallinari, who was out early and then never came back to the game and never returned to this for the season. So all my Utopians out there, feel free to share what you think the Celtics can finish. Right now, they're back favored as the #1 team in the East, according to Vegas odds. They just kind of hurdled over the Milwaukee Bucks after the Dame Lillard acquisition. But like I said, these guys are putting a lot of faith in health and a lot of faith in that these guys have a lot left still in the tank, which I'm not sure about. All the best.